Hello, dear listeners. It's me again, Whimble the Whisper Fox. I've tip-pawed across the quiet woods just to bring you another story stitched from moonlight and dreams. Tonight, I have a tale you might already know, but perhaps not quite like this. It's about a kind young girl called Cinderella, and how her gentle heart became her greatest magic. Cinderella lived with her stepsisters and stepmother. Now, they weren't very kind at all. While they dressed in fine clothes and sat about the house, poor Cinderella swept the floors, fetched water, and worked from morning until night. But do you know what? Even though her days were filled with chores, Cinderella never lost her gentle ways. She shared crumbs with the little mice in the kitchen, and I can't be sure, but I think she even whispered her dreams to the birds outside her window. And oh, how they chirped back as if they understood every word. One evening, news came that the king's son was holding a grand ball. Cinderella's stepsisters were terribly excited, fluttering about with ribbons and lace, but poor Cinderella had nothing to wear. Only her patched dress and tired shoes. And just when she felt almost forgotten, whoosh! A gentle light filled the garden. Her fairy godmother appeared, kind and shining like moonlight on water. With a flick of a wand, swish, a pumpkin turned into a golden carriage. Mice became proud horses, and Cinderella's old dress shimmered into a gown so lovely it sparkled like 1,000 tiny stars. I swear, one of the horses winked at me as they trotted past. When Cinderella stepped into the palace, the music hushed. Everyone turned to look. Her gown glittered, her slippers gleamed, but most of all, it was her kindness that seemed to glow the brightest. The prince bowed, asking her to dance. And when they twirled across the ballroom floor, it was as though the stars themselves had come down to watch. But remember, the fairy godmother's magic would only last until midnight. And oh, how quickly time flies when your heart is light. Bong went the clock. Bong again. Cinderella gasped and fled from the palace, her slippers tapping on the marble steps. In her hurry, clink, clink, one tiny glass shoe slipped right off her foot. She vanished into the night, leaving the prince with nothing but the slipper and a hopeful heart. The prince searched high and low, carrying the little glass slipper. At last he came to Cinderella's house. Her stepsisters tried to squeeze their feet inside, but it was no use. And then Cinderella stepped forward. She slipped the glass slipper on as easily as if it had always belonged to her. And so, she was no longer hidden in the ashes. Her kindness had carried her to a brighter tomorrow, one where she was loved and cherished, just as she always deserved. And that, little dreamers, is the story of Cinderella. Remember this, true magic isn't just in wands or carriages, but in the kindness we show even on the hardest days. Until next time, may your hearts be light, your dreams be bright, and may you always find a little magic waiting just around the corner. Good night from your friend, Whimble the Whisper Fox.